I've had a long-running joke that if the music business were ever on fire and I could only save 5 people out of the building, El the Sensei is one of the people.
He comes from a place where I come from, and when you come from there, you strive and you work hard. I met Jake Palumbo. I was only supposed to do a job.
There was a guy named Patrick who had a management company at the time called 22 Ventures.
I was told by my man Patrick to go to see Jake. I'm gonna record my vocals for a remix for Shabam Sadiq, Graffiti the World.
That's mostly correct. Everything he said was true. The only difference is that was actually the second time that we linked up in the studio. Patrick had reached out to me one day and said, hey, listen, El the Sensei and Sadat X are doing a project together. They've got a song that they need to get mixed. And we were wondering, you know, if you can mix the song, El will do a verse for you. Is it okay to just barter? And I said, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
I get there. And I liked the studio, felt like I was in the Millennium Falcon, knocked the joint out, and I was supposed to leave. I didn't. Rolled something up, I said, yo, play some beats.
He does his verse. And you gotta understand, like at the time, there is no Solving Cases album. This is just El doing a verse on one of my beats as payment for the mix that I did. It just so happens that, you know, El ended up really liking the beats that he heard, and you know, we ended up really liking each other as people and becoming friends.
I knew that I was comfortable with him, and that made it even easier for me. So, you know, I just knew that we had to work. In that work, and what I seen and what I thought I was going to see anyway with working with him was the passion and what he was doing. We went to Texas, we did South by Southwest. I had time to chill with him by myself and get to talk to him even more than I did when we was in the studio. And I liked him even more because he's hungry. I heard a couple of joints, I was like, all right, cool, let's work on the project. That easy.
If anybody has ever been to the old SpaceLAB back when we were in Manhattan, you remember there was kind of that tunnel door. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Like there was a giant meat locker door going into the control room, and then going back out to the lobby and the stairs, there was what we called a tunnel door. It looked like a train tunnel. And El's getting ready to walk through that tunnel door and turns around and says, you know, we should just do a project or something, do a little EP or something. And I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. Like, you know, at the time, I probably would have been too shook or, you know, just not confident enough to shoot my shot and be like, hey, let's just do a whole album. So,
and next thing you know, I'm back in the studio, recorded a song, back in the studio, recorded another song, and then we had come to an agreement because he knew I was doing the project with Sadat X. So we made an agreement that, you know, we finished the album with X, and then we finished ours. And just as easy as that. There's not a lot of times where it's that easy, but with me and Jake, it was. I saw something in him where I felt like he could probably bring me a different sound than what I've been working with at the time. And album done. Solving Cases.
So the fact that he suggested it, like he saw enough in my beats and in me, I guess, to want to commit himself to doing a whole project, like it was huge at the time, you know. It was huge. El being one of the first artists to not be afraid to speak up and say, yo, Jake Palumbo's dope, you should fuck with him. Like, you know, has and always will mean the world to me.